Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for cooling with Jay as always, man. As we continue on with more Ducati content, man, I am very excited about this video. This is one I've been waiting to do for a while. So basically, this is the unveiling of the V4R in North America, and their first stop on their tour was Portland. So basically, it's Portland, then Seattle, then California, and they make their ways around obviously your bigger states and bigger cities to show off the V4R. So we're the first stop on their tour, so of course I was invited, and I figured it'd be great for my channel. So basically, in today's video, how it is set up, it's pretty much first the press conference first about him, talking about the bike, of course pulling off the curtain, seeing the bike, him going over a few specs. There are two startups, so that's pretty cool. So you will get to hear the dry clutch because I had my mic attached to my camera, and then after that you'll get to see a cool walk around video I made with some music, a cool clip. And then at the end, of course, you will hear me talk to the big wig at Ducati North America and kind of ask him some questions about my Ducati or about the V4R in general that I figured some of y'all might have some questions about. And again, man, if any of this content interests you, please check out my other content, my other previous V4 videos, and my future content, man. Stay tuned. Please subscribe and smash that like button if you think the V4R is dope, and help my channel grow to get to 1,000 subscribers. So guys, with that being said, thanks as always for tuning in to my channel, man. I appreciate all y'all support for 2019 and previous 2018. And last bit, for those of you who are brand new to the channel, this is my very first bike. I own the base model Ducati V4. It's my very first bike. I'm kind of going through the experience, so I'm trying to get some more moto vlogging and some more vlogging in general on my page. So I've been waiting for this day in particular for a while. So guys, with that being said, I hope y'all enjoy.
Where there's no IMS shows, there's not any of the tour, the national stops aren't up here. And we thought, we're going to grab all of our newest models that haven't been released to the public yet, and we're going to throw a party. Is the mic still on? There it is. It's glitchy. It's me. It's my voice. It's Bluetooth. So we brought all the bikes up here. With very short notice, the guys at Motocorsa pulled together this party, and it's amazing. So if you've had a chance, a lot of the models are new, they're refreshed. Some of them are completely new, like the new Hyper Motards are back there, one of my favorites. The Multistrada line's been completely refreshed. And like Jamie said, if you have any questions, ask myself, ask any of the guys. But with a lot of effort from the team at Motocorsa and a big push from our guys inside Ducati, we're thrilled to be here tonight and happy to be here. So one of the things we want to see tonight is the new Panigale V4R, which really pushes the envelope of what a superbike is. And I think something that's kind of cool and special is Jason Chenot came up here tonight to help us with this unveil. And he's the CEO of Ducati North America. And he came here to go over some of the details, some of the stats, and just share the evening. So Jason, thanks for coming up, man. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Tyler. Appreciate you guys all for coming out. As we know, I mean, you said it's a rainy night, but isn't this what you guys expect in Portland? I mean, you kind of...
I'm actually going to forego the mic.
There you go. Big voice.
I can project. So, anyway, it's a bit of false sense of security. And so, but in fact, I live in the Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area, and we've been pounded for the last couple of weeks. And so when I came here, it felt actually like home to me. And I literally just got in and hitting this as the first tour of the night. I mean, we know that Portland has a fanatical group of motorcycle enthusiasts. In fact, I think that it's weather like this that makes you even more crazy about motorcycling, because when you get that sunny day, you get out there and ride, or even in this, we see you guys out there riding. So for me, it's a soft spot in my heart, even though now being in California, I've become a little bit of a soft rider.
A lightweight?
A lightweight. Yeah. I mean, when you see rain, you're like, tomorrow. But anyway, as Tyler was mentioning, it's actually really exciting. In fact, last year we did this tour. It was called More Than Red, and the concept was for us to show kind of the fact that Ducati keeps our DNA thread run throughout the entire product line, but that we've been able to expand as well into all these different areas. And really, with the theme this year being Ready for Red, it's the fact that we're actually going, I wouldn't say necessarily back, but going to a point of really the core of what people know us for. And that's that red part of our DNA. And when you see the bike that you're going to pull the cover off here in just a second, this V4R. I mean, this is the embodiment of it. This is the embodiment of what all of our engineers, all of the team in Corsa, all of the designers dream of. And it's interesting, I study and study and study on this, on our bikes and our product, and then every time I read it again, it seems like I figure out something new on it. And that's exciting. It's like the fact that the layers just keep coming back. So without me going into too much great detail, you guys know you want to see this motorcycle in the flesh. So let's get it uncovered. The new Panigale V4R, ladies and gentlemen. You notice right there on the outside, in fact, the first version of this bike that we got in North America, that we got for the motorcycle shows, was before we had actually announced that this bike was going to have a dry clutch. There was a lot of noise, a lot of rumor about what we were going to do, but they actually didn't send us the bike. And in fact, the first generation of the bike was basically V4S with some nice bodywork on it. But the reality is this is the real deal. And just so that you guys get a chance. So, it's a little bit of taste. I'm not going to go into too much because this thing hasn't been fully run and broken in. But you get a chance to see it up close and personal as well. I'm going to talk just about the bike a little bit, and then more importantly, you guys can get a chance, and the keys will go in my pocket, by the way, just in case you were wondering where they're going. But one of the things that you'll recognize immediately is the bodywork and the fairing and the winglets. And actually, this is something that I'm really excited about, because as technology continues to evolve and people are relying more and more on electronics to be able to control and get the power from what you see, what you know is inside this chassis down to the ground, we actually still have all of that incredible technology that you expect from us, but we've gone a bit more to kind of, let's call it an analog solution to try and to address a problem. And that is under hard acceleration. You know, you get the front end to come up on the bike a little bit. Well, wheelie control does an intervention on the electronics kick in, and wheelie control does an intervention that actually kind of holds back a bit of the power, changes the power. This does it in, let's call it, a natural way. I don't want to use the word organic, it's a little overstated, but it is like more of a natural way of actually keeping the front end down. And between the redesigned front fairing, the winglets, and the fact that it's a little bit taller, a little bit wider as well, it actually puts a little over 60, it's like 66 foot-pounds of downforce on the bike at 167 miles an hour. So I'm actually more excited the fact that we designed something to put that much downforce at 167 miles an hour. But when you think about that, it does it in a very natural way. So under hard acceleration, it actually will keep that front end down without the wheelie control having to kick in as aggressively. And then also under hard braking, it adds quite a bit of stability to the front end of the bike as well. So there's a lot of detail, and there's more and more information that will come out about the design of the winglets and actually the whole redesign of the front fairing. But even if you compare it to the standard, I shouldn't say standard, but the V4 and V4S, you'll notice that there's a lot of things, the gas tank and the fairings cut away here, so when the rider is tucked into place in a position, it helps actually reduce the drag on the rider and improve the overall aerodynamics. When you get into the motor, with the full race exhaust system on this thing, 234 horsepower. And I mean, it's impressive, and actually, you're not going to do yourselves justice or service without actually riding this bike without that exhaust. That's the reality of it. The adjustable swing arm pivot, so that you can actually change, adjust the geometry a little bit more fine-tuned for the type of riding you're going to do. A lot of people ask why the dry clutch. Well, actually, and the reason behind it for us to do this is because this is what we're going to race. And to have a factory homologated super bike, this is what we want to make sure that we can actually run in both factory racing, but also in the purpose of this here. And actually, there's a lot of benefits for this bike specifically. One is that you can actually do a little bit more fine tuning to the clutch and changing the different springs out on that. The other thing is that you don't have to worry about the oil getting contaminated from the friction from the clutch plates. And then lastly, there's the heat transfer. And of course, there's the anti-hopping that comes from under dropping the clutch under hard acceleration, or slipper effect that people refer to. And while that's in other clutches as well, it's definitely much more tunable in this environment. So it's actually quite exciting to see it return, and obviously the sound. I mean, like, let's be honest, there's all the technical things as well, but when it comes down to it, you know, I kind of miss that tambourine on the side of my Ducati for years. So, you want to hear it again?
Yeah.
Let me just pull that key back out. So, Oh, you can get up close and personal. So much joy. As part of motorcycling, it's not about being rational, it's about those emotional connections. So there's a lot more that we can go into in terms of the motor, the chassis, the redesigned frame, the suspension. I mean, it's non-stop on this motorcycle, but that's what we're here for. So feel free to ask us a lot of questions. I'm around for the evening, literally. I probably landed 5-10 minutes before I got pulled up here on stage, and I'm here to hang out with you guys for the night. So let's enjoy. Let's look on 2019 being a great season. I'm looking forward to it as well. So many new exciting bikes. In fact, I myself already have my eye on something that we're going to do. In fact, I can make a couple quick announcements. When we talked about the whole Ready for Red, there's some things that we're going to be doing this next year that maybe haven't been seen from Ducati in a little while, or have never hit our shores. But for example, we're going to be bringing the Ducati riding experience, both the racetrack and the enduro, to North America this year, which is really exciting. In fact, Tyler and I, so you know it's actually motorcyclist approved. We did the test on where we're going to be hosting our DRE Enduro, which is going to be in Sundance, Utah, right outside of there, and a really cool program that we've got put together. And we've ridden it on the previous generation Multistrada 1200 Enduro, which I know that these bikes are really popular up there. And I spent a little bit of time on the 1260 Enduro in Mexico for a day for this motorcycle ride that we do down there once a year. And I can't wait to get that bike out there. So there's one thing, obviously the DRE racetrack. I'll let you guys guess. We haven't officially announced it, but you can guess where it's going to be. I didn't say that. But we have plans for that as well. And then we actually are planning on returning to a lot of different racing activities over the course of the year as well. But not the traditional things that you might anticipate or expect for us. Some of it will be a bit non-traditional. Some of it will also be where you would expect, as in Pikes Peak. And while we haven't officially announced what we're going to be doing there, we will be back at Pikes Peak this year. One of the things that I recommend is that we're going to be hosting an event that we did quite a few years ago. I think it was 2010 or 11, which is the All Roads Lead to Pikes Peak. And basically, this is an opportunity for Ducati motorcyclists from all over North America to congregate in Colorado for some of the most epic riding. Tyler and I are both from there originally, so we could speak to. I'm sure you guys have great roads here, but there's some good stuff out there as well. But the idea is to bring people from all over the country to come and descend on Colorado Springs, support the team out there for the race, but then go hit the roads, both on and off road. So we'll be hosting an event there, and of course you'll expect to see us at COTA and at MotoGP, and World Superbike this year. Thank God it came back. We lost it for a minute, but it's going to be there. And then kicking off the Super Hooligan season, the rider Frankie Garcia, who actually rode the Scrambler 800 in the Super Hooligan series last year. If you guys note, the new full throttle Scrambler is basically modeled after the bike that he ran. The guy came in fourth with basically out of the season, hitting a handful of the races. Well, he's actually going to be building a bike right now, and we're helping him out so that we can make sure that he can continue carrying the torch for us in that series as well, which if you've not gone to it, it's going to kick off at the One Show in a couple weeks here, and that'll be a good time as well because it's a different kind of racing. It's just out there for fun. So we've got a lot of things in the pipe, and you'll see a lot of this we'll be communicating over the next couple months, and plus a lot of things that hopefully will surprise you as well that you'll enjoy. So anyway, guys, welcome. Let's get the season started off right, and here's to 2019. Thank you, guys.
When a room is parading in front like, hey, it's Audi for getting sell with Ducati.
Oh, yeah.
So, that was the last time I remember you being here.
I'm trying to remember the last time I was here. I haven't been here since Rune left. So it's been about a couple of years. But I used to come in here all the time because I would come up here. I got buddies that live in the city and everything else. So, okay. Yeah. What do you guys think of the bike?
I love this thing. I wish you guys put more dry clutches on stuff.
it's got to make sense for the application. You know, it's as simple as that.
Right.
So some of it you may or may not have noticed that
The bigger holes in the frame
yeah, you see that online.
allow
Like,
more flex. Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, it's really quite interesting in all the things that they've tuned.
I work here.
I just
How do I
making sure
not
you
know
I'm
this?
making sure you know. Making sure you know. I mean, like I was saying, every time, so I read all of the content, all of our training material. I mean, I'm a motorcycle nut as it is. Right. So like, I'm not doing it because it's my job. I do it because I love it. And every time I read about this bike, I discover something new, even though I've read it all like 10 times. But, you know, we were talking about the whole the winglets, and I just thought it was hilarious to see that quote from our colleague, basically talking about that these were designed specifically with this entire package in mind.
Yeah.
And that if you take, you know, it's like you take any one thing off, it's not going to perform at the same level. Yeah.
You mind saying it one more time for my?
Yeah. You just let me know what you.
Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah.
I see you flashing.
Yeah.
So that the winglets that were actually designed is actually not something that would make sense just to bolt onto the motorcycle. It's something that was designed with the entire package in mind. So if you take a look at the fairing, it's a little bit wider. This spot has been flattened out, and the entire fairing has been designed so that the rider can actually tuck their arms into the side of the fairing here. And also, with it being a little bit wider and a little bit taller, it actually has changed to help reduce the overall drag. But if these were, or a similar style winglet was just bolted onto a standard V4, it will possibly disrupt the overall riding experience as opposed to add any sort of benefit. Right. I mean, this has been very critically designed. Everywhere from the shape, the angle, the size of how the foil is, and this little piece here as well. And I apologize, I don't remember the name of it, but all of the different elements of design. And these directly are derived from that of our MotoGP project that we had where they were banned. And in fact, they're a much more efficient use of a wing than what we're currently utilizing in MotoGP right now. But we could use them for World Superbike.
Right. So is the exhaust, and of course the customer buys separately, is that the same exhaust that came on the Speciality now, or is that a newer, revised version of the Acura exhaust? Is that?
I can't answer that question because I don't know the answer.
Okay.
I know that the mapping would be different because it's a different engine entirely. So I don't know if the exhaust is different for the V4R than that. It's funny because I was trying to find the information on the accessories and I couldn't. Okay. So that's something
another big question they were asking was, you know, for example, if they already have that Acura on their S and they're going to the V4R, would it be just like a simple swap of the exhaust, or is it a different exhaust altogether?
I would actually be skeptical as to whether it could be. Okay. And the reason why I say that, I mean, it would have to be verified, but this exhaust pipe system and the way that these the headers come out is completely different than that of the standard V4 V4S. In fact, if you put these two bikes side by side, you'll see that the pipe and routing configuration is different. Okay. Now we're going to have multiple different options. There's a slip-on, there's a full system as you would expect, but you know, to get the 234 horsepower, you got to put the full on.
Right, 100%. Like this, but it's is that a Euro 4 Acura exhaust, or that come in?
We don't have the details on it, but likely because of it being in that configuration, it will be a homologated exhaust system, which means that it will likely be street legal. Okay. So it just depends on certain places like California and the U.S. Other states in the U.S. have different requirements, and so it would have to be certified to be able to be utilized in the street. But that the full exhaust system is meant for off-road use only, so racetracks.
Speaking of which, one of the guys was saying, of course, California just changed their decibel rating for cars, whatever else, right? And they were saying the only bike that passes is the 959, I guess, for the decibel reading for right now. So essentially the
You mean in terms of the performance exhaust, or?
No, for the stock.
I mean, what I know is that when we bring our bikes into North America, our bikes have to be homologated for every place that we bring them in. Right. So if we bring them in, they're homologated correctly, then it should hopefully be homologated for all of the places where we plan on riding them. But as an example also, while some of that stuff changes, we have to adapt to respect that. So I couldn't answer that one for you. Drive. My technical director, usually off the top of his head. But,
so now I do my whole YouTube and photography and video stuff full time.
Cool. Congratulations. Living the dream, man. Congratulations.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so then of course I used my channel to go through the whole experience of owning the bike and that sort of thing. So my viewers love that. But yeah, I'm getting to a lot of that video work. It's kind of my that's what my passion is.
Well, and also the fact that you get to see stuff. I mean, coming here, you get to see stuff before anybody else does.
Right. So now I have to go home and edit this video. I didn't know that this is the only one in North America right now, right?
Well, this is it, man. Okay. The other one that we have up in Canada, it's actually doing the Canadian Motorcycle Show tour, was the first bike that we had, which is basically a wolf in sheep's clothing, or sheep in wolf's clothing. But this is the first one that we have with the dry clutch. And with the proper R configuration. I mean, you can see here, it has the adjustable pivot point here for the swing arm. So, and we ended up bolting the billet. So there are some accessories that are on it, like the billet rear sets and some of the other things like that. But this is the first full-on.
So there is not two, like, you know, like one East Coast, one West Coast, only this single one?
No, I mean, we have one tour that's traveling across all of North America. And it's going to be, we hit the motorcycle show in Long Beach and Los Angeles, and we're going to hit it in DC later this year. But we're also going to be touring all across. We're doing like 17 cities before beginning of March. And
how long will it take you to go through all of North America for this?
A month and a half.
Okay.
Yeah, and by the time March 1st hits, I mean, we just run out of time. By the time March 1st hits, season's here.
Right, season's here.
So.
It's interesting. Okay. And that ride is in Utah this year, right?
Oh yeah, next. So it's here, Seattle tomorrow night, and then we'll be in Salt Lake. Salt Lake is Wednesday or Thursday?
What's that?
Salt Lake is Wednesday. Or Thursday?
Next Wednesday.
Salt Lake, Denver, Omaha, Chicago, Detroit, Boston, DC Motorcycle Show.
No Houston?
Not there yet.
Okay.
Orlando.
We're still coming back.
Okay, coming back.
Making the loop.
Orlando, Miami, Houston, Austin, Dallas, Phoenix, Las Vegas, San Diego, San Francisco. So.
Will this particular one be sold? This will always be just for the show. Okay. Someone asked earlier, why didn't it come with the full race exhaust? You know, just show as y'all were touring the states.
One of the reasons why is because we don't want to drown out the dry clutch.
Gotcha. So that makes sense.
You know, you hear the bike as it is with the stock exhaust. It's still very throaty.
Right.
You get a good sound. People want to hear the clutch. So
right.
And literally, we also just got it a couple days ago.
Okay.
Like they air freighted it to us. We got it a couple days ago in order for us to have it ready for there. So. And then we were able to put on a couple things, but we might choose later on in the tour to put on the full exhaust system, and then at that point I'll be able to answer whether or not it's a crossover between the two.
Is there anything I can't have on my video or picture that's on the bike, I guess?
No, you're more than welcome. Okay. I mean, like, we're not doing a photo shoot for it, but I wouldn't say that there's, like, for example, I believe that the final production version will have a carbon fiber rear fender. This one doesn't. So it's still a show bike.
Right.
You know, well, the most important thing for us is that I wanted to make sure that it had the dry clutch so that we get a chance, and it was startable. Yeah, that right. I wanted that, and like I asked my guys, give me one that I know I could start.